Investment. Investment is what I learned in the military. It's a little bit odd, isn't that? My name is, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. My name is Hutmacher, and I work with the Department of Veteran Affairs, but I recently retired from the military after a 20-year career. So I want to get into my story and tell you a little bit how I got here and where I am today and why investment is so important to me. You see, I wanted to do something. I was excited. I was looking for adventure. I wanted to go out and see the world. So sure enough, 5 days after graduating high school, I went off and I joined the United States Army and got into the field artillery. As with field artillery, I went through basic training. I found it tough. I actually struggled through it, glad it was over with. Then I went on to airborne school, and I don't really care what anybody says, but trust me, those are not perfectly good airplanes. So after airborne school, I got sent to my first duty station. My first duty station at the young age of 19 was Vicenza, Italy. I know you're all looking at me saying, that's a tough job. It was, well, okay, it was a great experience. I absolutely loved it. I was overseas, I was 19, I was seeing the world, I got to travel all over. I absolutely loved the time I got to spend, and I also wanted to experience a lot of things. So when I was there, I started to get involved in the local church, and then I got involved in a local ministry. It's called through Cadence International. It's called a hospitality house. They minister to soldiers and their families. And this is where I get into the topic of investment. One of the lessons that we learned was the greatest investment you could ever make is in people. Now, what does it mean to invest in people? Well, at 19, you'd think I know it all. I thought I did. Well, anyways, I didn't. And soon enough, I would find out. I would find different experiences. So I would go through my career and I would see different opportunities. A lot of people invested in me, such as my squad leaders in leadership. My family invested in me in the past. But I really got to see an example one time. We were deployed to Afghanistan. I'm now married. I've been in the military for about 5 or 6, 7 years. And I'm deployed to Afghanistan. One of our main tasks was to train the Afghan National Police. On this particular mission I want to talk about, we were tasked with going to a small base. It was slightly protected and not very secure. So it caused us some concern. But we had a couple support elements to help us take care of that. So when we arrived, we met up with the Afghan National Police. Here, we started to conduct training. We taught them movement drills and how to react to contact and what to do if they are attacked and how to protect themselves. So we really enjoyed doing this, and we enjoyed watching them grow. So one particular individual continued to fall behind the rest of the group. We didn't know why, but we watched him. He was drive, he was determined, he was motivated. But then we started to see this limp. We started to see that he couldn't keep up with the group. My supervisor looked over at me and said, "Hutmacher, take him to the medic. Figure out what's wrong with him." I took him over to the medic. He sat him down. The medic had him pull off his boots. When I saw those feet, they were the most awful, disgusting, smelly, rotten feet I'd ever seen in my life. It was almost biblical when you think about it. And the medic did something amazing. He began to wash the feet. He just took his time. The pus, the grime, the dirt began to wash away. To me, that was the most amazing thing. The medic didn't even flinch. He just kept washing. And you would see it in his feet. You'd start to see the skin and the color of it come back. You'd see he would grimace in pain, but as the pain went away, he began to grow a smile. Soon after, the medic dried off his feet, gave him a pair of socks, put his boots back on him, and sent him back out. The rest of that mission, we could see him. He had pride. He could keep up with his group. He could do what he couldn't do before. That medic, he didn't give him a hand out, he gave him a hand up. He gave him an opportunity to make himself better. He gave him an opportunity to participate in his community, to serve his community, and to serve his family. And I thought that was the most awesome thing. You know, when I think back on it, I think of all the veterans who've been able to do that, been able to serve other people. You know, I think back at my family. You've got their families who serve them. You've got them who serve their families. You've got your, I think back at my squad leaders who dealt with my shenanigans. I think back at my squad who dealt with me, who I love, Mavic 3-3, I love you guys. You know, it's been a great time. Now, 20 years later, I retired from the military. I get to do something, one of the most awesome things I've ever got to do. I got to serve veterans, those who've served so many other people. I work with the Department of Veteran Affairs as a veteran service representative. I process claims. I'm the person behind the phone call. I'm the person who might request your exams or review your records. That's who I am, and I'm so proud to serve the veterans who've served us and served our country. And I look forward to continue to serve you all and serve our veterans. Our veterans have done amazing things, and they continue to do things that you'll never hear about. I'm Aaron Hutmacher. You've heard my story, and this is why I choose VA.